people that normally get visa waivers, they couldn't get visa waivers anymore just for those 7 countries. Those are the 7 countries that Barack Obama selected. Donald Trump merely said, we need a good starting point. Okay, we're going to trust what President Obama said are the 7 most dangerous ISIS-infiltrated countries, and those are the 7 countries that for right now, temporarily, we cannot take refugees from, and we cannot let people come in from those countries for just 90 days until we get a handle on this. So if you're in those 7 countries and you want to come to the United States, you're just going to have to be inconvenienced to wait 90 days. The media didn't bother telling you stuff like that. They didn't tell you that Barack Obama did the very same thing for citizens in Iraq in 2011. Press hasn't been telling you that, did they? And by the way, Barack Obama's ban wasn't a 120-day ban. It wasn't a 90-day ban. It was a 6-month ban. So that's right. And all the families trying to flee war-torn Iraq to come to the United States, all the women and children and everybody else that wanted to come to the United States during that 6-month window, Barack Obama said, no, you're banned from even being immigrants into the United States if you're in Iraq. It doesn't matter who you are, not just terrorists, citizens, families, women and children, all banned for 6 months from Iraq coming to the United States. Does anybody remember Barack Obama being accused of making the Statue of Liberty cry? Press didn't tell you that stuff, did they? But no, now Chuck Schumer says that Donald Trump, this order of his is, quote, mean-spirited and un-American. Okay, Senator Schumer, was President Obama mean-spirited and un-American in 2011 to Iraqi refugees and immigrants? Was he? But no, instead what we've seen are countless claims in the press that Donald Trump has issued some kind of Muslim ban. And then here's what we're seeing. CNN runs this headline today, quote, countries where Trump does business not included. And so now you're getting liberals in the press going, oh, interesting here, huh? That the countries that are on this list are countries that Donald Trump doesn't do business with. And we notice Donald Trump does business with Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia is not on that list. And 15 out of the 19 9/11 hijackers were from Saudi Arabia. Why isn't Saudi Arabia on that list? Donald Trump? This isn't what liberal bloggers are saying. This is what the mainstream media is saying right now, fueling this fire. And they're not telling you the rest of the story. The rest of the story being this. First of all, the reason that Donald Trump picked those 7 countries is because Barack Obama picked those 7 countries as countries that have to have a ban on their visa waivers. He's the one that picked those countries and said those are the countries that are the most dangerous as far as ISIS infiltration. And Barack Obama didn't pick Saudi Arabia. You want to know why Saudi Arabia wasn't on Obama's list of 7 nations? Because Saudi Arabia right now is not being controlled in large parts by ISIS. They don't have the kind of ISIS infiltration that these other 7 nations do. Well, why doesn't Donald Trump include Saudi Arabia? Why didn't Barack Obama include Saudi Arabia? I mean, think about it, folks. Come on. You want to know why? Because this executive order ban right now, just like the ban in 2011 from Barack Obama, neither one of those bans had anything to do with who the hijackers were in 9/11. They had to do with what countries are infiltrated strongly by ISIS right now. Right now, which ones are the most ISIS compromised? So when Barack Obama did this in 2011 with Iraq, okay, this was because of the ISIS threat and terrorism and everything else that was with this. When he put together his list of 7 nations, Barack Obama did, Saudi Arabia wasn't on the list because Saudi Arabia is not an ISIS issue in the here and now. That's the reason why Barack Obama didn't include Saudi Arabia in the 7, and it's the very same reason why Donald Trump didn't include the Saudi Arabia in the 7 now. He went with Obama's list. But what the press is turning this into is creating a suspicion of, oh, Donald Trump deliberately left Saudi Arabia off the list because he's got business dealings there. Wow. By the way, folks, there are also a lot of Muslim nations on the list. A lot of Muslim nations that Donald Trump does not do business with that are also not on the list. I mean, it's just, this is so dishonest, so blatantly dishonest. Reince Priebus, White House Chief of Staff for Donald Trump, he went on Meet the Press yesterday, and he pointed out, he said, quote, "The fact of the matter is 325,000 people from foreign countries came into the United States yesterday, and 109 people total were detained for further questioning. And most of those people were moved out. In other words, allowed to come on into the United States. We got a couple of dozen more that would remain, and I suspect as long as they're not awful people, they'll be moved through today. And if they're folks that shouldn't be in this country, they're going to be detained. So we apologize for nothing here." And Reince Priebus saying, "We're going to apologize for keeping America safe." Donald Trump has issued a statement. He issued a statement in response to John McCain and Lindsey Graham, who are a couple of centrist, moderate, rhino Republicans who can't stand Donald Trump and are undermining him at every turn and joining with the Democrats half the time. John McCain and Lindsey Graham, they came together in a statement condemning Donald Trump's executive order. So Donald Trump fired back with this statement, quote, "America is a proud nation of immigrants, and we will continue to show compassion to those fleeing oppression. But we will do so while protecting our own citizens and border. America has always been the land of the free and the home of the brave. We will keep it free and keep it safe, as the media knows but refuses to say. My policy is similar to what President Obama did in 2011 when he banned visas for refugees from Iraq for 6 months. The 7 countries named in the executive order are the same 7 countries previously identified by the Obama administration as sources of terror. To be clear, this is not a Muslim ban." This is Trump talking. "This is not a Muslim ban, as the media is falsely reporting. This is not about religion. This is about terror and keeping our country safe. There are over 40 different countries, actually there's 46, folks, 40 different countries worldwide that are Muslim majorities that are not affected by this order. We will again be issuing visas to all countries, including of these 7 countries, once we're sure we have reviewed and implemented the most secure policies over the next 90 days. I have a tremendous feeling for the people involved in this horrific humanitarian crisis in Syria. My first priority will always be to protect and serve our country, but as president, I will find a way to help those who are suffering." All right, so here's what I'm going to do next, folks. I'm going to go through what his executive order actually really is, what it does, and correct the record here, because I'm telling you, this is so blatantly dishonest how this is being treated from the left. So let me go through and try to simplify all of this for you, and we'll do that next, a couple minutes from now, here on the Bob Dutko Show.